TikTok. We're going live to our Twitch account. Looks like we're going live on our YouTube as well too. I'm going live on Facebook as well. So we're going live in 3, 2, 1, and all right, what's up everyone? Coach Tony here. Welcome. Today is June 23rd, 2025, and welcome back to Ask Coach Tony Anything. So we started a series a few weeks ago. You guys like it. We keep getting more and more questions, so we're gonna keep doing this until we run out of questions, which I don't know if I can do that, but we're definitely gonna go with that. If you missed last week's call, last week was amazing. We actually had a special guest from UC Scout directly. So we actually did a really cool kind of joint AMA between both of us, and we answered a bunch of questions. If you guys need that, let our team know down in the chat or somewhere, and our team can grab you that replay. A lot of awesome resources as well. But we're gonna go here, jumping in to help you guys with any questions. We are going live on a bunch of different platforms. If you guys can see me, hear me, go ahead and drop any questions in the chat. I'm gonna go through and kind of answer some questions live for you guys with a few pre-submitted questions before today. If it's our very first time meeting, my name is Coach Tony. I'm actually a former UC Berkeley admissions reader myself, read a bunch of apps, recommended yes or no to a lot of students. I got to work at UCLA as an outreach director, and I even opened my own high school as well too. For the last 16 years, our team has sent students literally everywhere, right? Tons of California-based schools, UCs, Cal States, private schools. We're sending kids to the Ivies as well too. We interviewed a bunch of them on our YouTube channel. You can check them out. I just look up the word egelloC. egelloC is the word college backwards. It's how you memorize the name. So, but today we're gonna go and kind of answer your questions live. So if you guys are here, any of the platforms, we're going live on Zoom. We're going live on Facebook, going live on YouTube, going live on Twitch, going live on TikTok. If you guys can see me, hear me, let's go ahead and get started. So let's go dive right in. We have a few questions that were kind of pre-submitted. So as questions come on, go ahead, just drop them in the chat. We can definitely help answer questions for you guys as well. So actually, let me see, for our friends over here at Zoom, you guys can see that now. That's a little easier for you all to see. All right, so first question we got submitted was, what is the best strategy around choosing what the most appropriate PIQ to answer? So really, really awesome question here. So basically, let's do a little breakdown. PIQ is the personal insight questions, right? So these are, think of it as the UC essays, right? I'm gonna put quotes there. The UC essays that you need to write, right? So for, if you're applying to any of the 9 UC campuses, right? You're gonna write 4 350-word PIQs as well too. So that's pretty much what the UC essays are about. You can look at them, UC PIQ, and you can probably find them all right here. There's 8 of them. I'm gonna go ahead and go through them really quick. All right, there's 8 of them over here. We're gonna drop it, right? So really quick, going through all 8 together with you guys, and then a few little tips as well too for each one. So the first, this is live. You guys know it's live as well too. Boom, right? So there you go. There's 8 of them. You get to pick 4 of the 8, right? You pick 4 of the 8, your choice. There's no prompt that's better or worse or anything else. So that's the big thing here. So when it comes to the example of your leadership experience, this is like a leadership prompt, right? Number 2 is a creative prompt. And keep in mind, these prompts are meant to be broad on purpose. So if you define, like some of our students define creativity as like coding, computer science, that's cool. That works too for this one. Number 3 is greatest talent or skill, how you developed and demonstrated that. 4 is educational opportunity or educational barrier. This is an or question, means one or the other. You don't do both, you do one or the other here. Number 5, most significant challenge, how you overcome and how to affect academics. Little pro tip here. Even if it didn't, right? You should still acknowledge what it did affect in the academics. It might be nothing, then you say that did not affect my academics, but the readers are trained to look for this stuff. Number 6, subject that inspires you inside, outside classroom. 7, what have you done to make your school a better place? And 8, what makes you a strong candidate? My number 1 tip, do not use number 8. That's my number 1 recommendation. And for everyone who's doing number 8, for you to get number 8 correct and make it like effective, You need to be pretty much the only person in the 250,000 applicants that the UC receives to say your story. Because a lot of you guys are like, oh, I never give up. I have perseverance. I am great, right? You don't think other students have perseverance? You don't think other students are great? It needs to be such a unique story for you, is the key here, right? So going back there, I would say avoid number 8. And so how do you pick the 4 from the other 7 based on us? Let me give you a step by step, right? Step by step on how to pick these as well. Okay, so step number 1, and this is a little funny thing. Do not look at the prompts. I kind of spoiled you guys a little bit, right? But step number 1, do not look at the prompts, because when I just did that with you guys, all of you are thinking in your head, which one can I talk about for the leadership one? Which one can I talk about for the greatest skill one? So you're already pigeonholing your head into certain things. But what if that's not the most effective one to use? So we don't say don't look at prompts. Instead, actually, I think we usually call that step 0, right? Step 0, do not look at the prompts. Instead, what you want to do instead is you want to list out all of your activities, experiences, and identities, right? So I tell students, hey, on a sheet of paper, write down every activity you've done in high school, every experiences you kind of lived, like life events that you've gone through, and identities that you feel you belong to as well, right? And I tell them, do this in 5 minutes. Specifically 5 minutes. The reason why you want to do that is I want to get straight to the things. If I give them the whole day, they can think of everything, but things that you think of outside of 5 minutes might not be that important, is the key, right? So things that are really top of mind, that's the key you want to focus on. That's why the 5 minutes is there. Then step number 2, once you have your experience, then you want to pick your top 4 or 5 from this list, right? So basically what you want to ask yourself is, I did all these things, right? I did all these things. What thing made me who I am today, right? So like, again, for those of you with kids who play soccer, right? And you said, oh yeah, soccer made them who they are. Imagine they never touched a soccer ball in their life. How different would life be for them, right? And for some of you who are computer programmers, imagine they never programmed a day in their life. They never went to that first class at Code Academy, right? How different would life be for them, right? For those who are in art, imagine your child never picked up a paintbrush. How different will life be? There's simple things, activities, experiences, identities that, again, completely change who they are. At the same time, there's things that doesn't matter too much, right? Again, it's important, but not so important. So we have them identify the top 4 or 5 from this list. The key with no overlap, meaning if let's say you talk about you loving math, right? Math is my number 1, and number 2 is you taking a math class, that's the same topic of math, right? So that's only one thing is the thing itself. So you're gonna pick 4 or 5 different things that do not overlap at all, right? And by the way, pro tip, by the way, when you're doing this, parents, do not be involved in any way. Do not say, hey, you should talk about this, you should do that, because keep in mind, that is your perspective of how they see it. This is, by the way, spoilers, when students struggle how to write, and I'm like, you wrote that you want to talk about this. I mean, like, no, my mom told me to write about this. I'm like, okay, that's mom's idea. If you're doing your own personal statement, you can talk about that. But for them, it needs to come from the student, because they know what they want to talk about is the key, okay? So you want to pick your top 4 or 5, no overlap. Next step, right? Once you have top 4 or 5, each one, we call it story time. So each prompt that you're gonna talk about, right? Let's say you in soccer, right? You have a soccer ball, right? There is probably a highlight, a low light, a significant event, a traumatic event, a unforgettable memory that the student has when they said that key word, that topic above, right? And that is your story. I tell the students to tell me that in 30 seconds, right? The reason why I say 30 seconds is you have to get straight to the point, right? Think of like your favorite movie, right? If I told you, cool, tell me your favorite movie, I have all night. You're gonna go through every detail, the color of the dress. You're gonna quote the people and say everything. But if I say, you tell me your favorite movie, I only have 30 seconds, right? You skip all the details. You get straight to the core pieces. Oh, this happened, then this happened, then this happened. This happened at the end, the end. The core thing, and that's what the reason why, because the story is not what you want to focus on when it comes to the prompts, right? What you want to focus on is the next part, which step 4, we call this dig deep. This is a nod to our head of coaches, right? Coach Art as well too. He helps our students dig deep in this process. What you do is you basically figure out your why, your how, and your who. Why did you do what you did? How has it made you who you are? Who have you become as a result? These are the 3 key things that you want to make sure you get right, because this is what sets you apart. Again, playing soccer. How many of you guys, your kids play soccer? A lot of us do. So the thing is, the story is not what's going to set you apart. If you win the championship, how many other kids have won the championships, right? So that's not going to be significant. What's significant is the student, why they did that, because that's unique only to them. How it made them who they are. Again, that's only them. Who have they become? Again, only them. These are the 3 things that tells me about the student themselves. That's the key. Then, right, only then, step 5, we pick the prompt that allows us to talk about that story and dig deep as well too. So now you go back and you find the prompt that lets you talk about that. Now you know each of your 4 PIQs is going to be the strongest. This is the big story you want the reader to know about, because if not, you're going to pigeonhole yourself. You're going to think, oh, this leadership thing, oh, I was president 1 year, this, but more of that club doesn't matter to you, right? So this is how our students don't get stuck on right, because one of the things it's hard is adding more. Tell me more about that. And for a lot of students, they don't have the adding more. So I think this is a big thing to help you guys with this process, is to go this step. So original question, best strategy, most appropriate, that is the one. There's no PIQs that are better or worse. Just avoid number 8 is our biggest one. And last pro tip, right? Getting a B, C is not a significant challenge as well too. People say, oh my goodness, I got a B. It was the end of the world. And then I worked so hard, I got an A, the end. I'm like, bro, right? That is not even a problem in the world as well too. So that is not that is not a significant challenge. Okay, so that's the big thing here. So that's question number 1 for you guys, right? Moving on. Again, if you guys like this, feel free to, again, drop the questions in the chat. Let me know the comments. I have all the comments kind of pulled up on my end from, again, the YouTube. I see people here from YouTube. Hello, people from YouTube. As we got people from Facebook who are here as well, too. Thank you, people from Facebook who are joining me live on this session. I got some TikTok friends as well, too. Hello, TikTok. The TikTokity, if you hello over there. And then we got our Twitch friends as well too. Hello, I see you guys in the chat. So again, welcome everyone. If you have questions, this call is for you guys. I already know this stuff, so I'm good. So feel free to drop your questions down below. We can kind of answer for you guys here. Okay, so next one, it's a big question here. So this one says, I haven't been able to find an internship or volunteer opportunity for my daughter to do this summer with something impactful that relates to environment sense or being a teacher. Most places are full or she's too young. She's 16 and a half, going to be a senior, loves butterflies, raised them fast years, but not sure it's good enough. What kind of documentation we need to do for that? Volunteer, vacation Bible school, group leader, something would be helpful. Has religion, has help with, this is a lot of questions in one. So this is a lot of questions. He has a 4.0. All right. Let's break this down. There's a lot of questions. We kind of answer piece by piece first, right? So the first one, I haven't been able to find internships or volunteer opportunity. So the first question I would ask you, right, is why are we looking for this? Right? Very simple question. Why are we doing this as well too? Because most people think they have to do research. They have to do internships. They have to do summer programs. And I'm like, no. You don't have to do any of that. A lot of our kids don't do any of this. They still make it in the top schools. So the thing itself is not the important thing. For me is the why, right? Why, and then curiously, why are you doing this? Because keep in mind, spoilers, right? Spoilers, whatever we end up doing, right? We're not the only ones. We're not the only ones. We're not that special as well too, right? More students will do something similar, right? What sets us apart from others is our why. That's why the why is so important. Because if I ask, and I don't know who this person is, but if you are, I'd ask you why. And if you can't come up with an answer, if your only answer is it looks good for college, don't do it, right? If that's your only answer, because good thing we asked this question first, you're going to have a very hard time doing this exercise, right? If your reason is I want to do it to look good for college is the key. Right? Because again, dig deep, dig deep. My mom told me to do this. That's why, again, which is a reason. It's not a bad reason. It's a reason though. But I'm sure if someone has a stronger reason, that might trump your mom reason as well too. So that's why I first asked you, do you need to? Because again, you can, right? And why does it matter? You can. Again, let's say you're very hands-on. You learn best hands-on wise. That's very internship-y kind of stuff, right? For me, I like learning hands-on. I can sit in a classroom and learn, but I won't digest it. That's like summer programs, right? You learn material. Some people love it, like, oh my God, I love learning. That's that, right? But for me, I want to get my hands dirty. I want to try. I want to fail and then keep going. That's internships, right? Boom. As well, volunteer. Do you need to? No, high schools make you do it because they want to help you with admissions, but no schools, to my knowledge, has a volunteering requirement. That's up to you if you want to do it or not there. So that's kind of the first one. I ask you why. Second question, they want to do environmental science or teacher, right? As this is kind of the next part. So basically what activities, I'm assuming the questions is, the question here is like, what activities should I do for these fields, right? These fields. As well too, and the answer I give, no one really likes, right? No one really likes. It answers me. It could be anything. Could be anything, as well too. The question is, right? The question is, why did you want to do this? As well too, right? You must have wanted to do teaching, right? If you want to do teaching, cool. Show me that, right? If so, show me that, right? So how do I know you want to teach? Is it, right? And so like, oh, I like working with others. Cool. Let's find opportunities working with others. I like environmental science. I think I was something about butterflies, right? I like butterflies. Cool. What can we do with the butterflies to help with that as well too? So I think that's the big thing to think about is figuring out what can you do? Because again, the thing doesn't matter. People focus too much on the specific thing. I focus more on the why. Why do you want to, again, for between these two, what do you think you want to do more, right? And pick one. It's hard to do both, right? So pick one. I think I want to do computer environmental science. Cool. Let's lean towards that. What can we show the readers to show them that you're interested in doing this, right? So think of it for parents. Here's another example, right? Let's say you want to, you need to get your taxes done, right? Taxes done. Hey, I need to get my taxes very complicated. Do you trust the first person who is like, all right, let me do your taxes? I haven't done it yet, but I'm ready to be the best, right? I'm ready to be the best. I haven't done it yet. Versus, do you trust the other person who's been doing, yeah, I've done taxes for the last 10 years. I've done taxes for these people. I've done I save a lot of money. Someone with proof. That's the big difference here. A lot of students, when they apply to college, they're like, oh, I want to be a teacher. And I look at your activities and I'm like, oh, there's nothing you do that relates to teaching, right? And I'm like, yeah, I want to do it. I'm like, oh, it's a big wish, right? Keep in mind, a wish is always trumped by proof, right? So instead, if I want to be a teacher, I volunteered helping this summer class, blah, blah, blah. I did this. I tutored my own self, blah, 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 right? All things to show you that I'm interested, and I've been tasting it. I always say the word tasting your major, right? Tasting your major. I'm tasting it to see that I do like it, so I'm gonna keep doing more of it is the key there, okay? So going back again, too young, right? We live in a world now, right? Too young really isn't a thing anymore. If you guys have heard the news on, the Facebook bought a company for 15 billion, or they put 15 billion to a company, and the guy is young, right? The guy is like uber young as well too. So he need to be an old enough to do something, right? He just again has the credentials, has the ability. Same thing here. If they say no, go find another door. Go find something else as well too. Again, keep in mind, we teach. There's a training out there if you guys need it. Let our team know they can grab for you. There's a way. I think Coach Victor, he's one of our advisors. He teaches this, right? Create your own internship opportunity. Right? You don't have to find one, right? They're hard to find is one. And two, it's very competitive is number two. Coach Victor did a literally step-by-step how to 1, 2, 3 on how to create your own internship. He gives you the scripts. He gives you exact screenshots of what to do as well too. So again, if you need that, let our team know down below or wherever platform you guys are joining from as well. And if you're not on one of the platforms, feel free to text our team. Text our team at 949-775-0865. Just ask them for like internship training or something, and then they'll go ahead and grab that for you as well, right? But you can make your own internship opportunity, right? You don't need to apply and be the I'm the too young factor as well too, right? Keep that in mind as next one. Next thing, boom, 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 boom. Religious has to do with this has nothing, right? Irrelevant, right? Does not matter, right? Again, it's how you live your life is what you do. The thing is, you don't want to put that in like convert people in your essays is the thing, but that's who you are, right? That's kind of your identity. That's what you've kind of grown up as well too. So it's great to share, right? The thing is, you don't have to preach it inside the thing, but that's made you who you are, right? And the key is not the what. The what is the religion. The who you are is the byproduct of being with that religion, right? That's what you can share. Don't focus less on religion, more on the thing. The same thing we're gonna with people who say, oh, it's because I'm a certain race, I'm a certain gender. And I'm like, no, right? You did not get rejected or stuff because of that, right? It's because of the byproduct. Again, there's factors, right? But then again, if you guys know for action, took out a lot of this. And for those of you in California, which I know a lot of you guys are watching from California, we've been a byproduct of Proposition 209 since 1996, where since 1996 till today, cannot use race, gender, religion, or anything in any admissions or anything else as well too. So if you're saying that, you're making an excuse because again, there's probably other things why you didn't get in. It's not your gender, your race, or your religion or anything as well too. Keep in mind, it's how this has affected you, right, over the thing itself, right? That's the big takeaway over here. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, you get to favorite. Go try to get to the UCs that help you out as well too. So again, what documentation? I think that's the last one here. What type of documentation, right? That's the best part about the college, right? All colleges, right? You self-report everything, right? You self-report everything. If you did 100 hours, you say you did 100 hours. If you did 2 things, you share 2 things as well too. Everything is self-reported on the colleges, right? On the college app, right? You sign an integrity agreement saying that everything on your app is factually correct, right? As well too. Everything on your app is true. You sign it twice, at the beginning and at the end before you submit as well too. Imagine you lied, right? As well too, right? Would you be caught? There are some people who will make it through, right? That's on your conscience, how you sleep at night as well too. But there is a team that does audit students, right? And if they audit you and you lied as well too, that's really, really bad. They would rescind your acceptance because that's academic dishonesty as well too, right? So again, you self-report. So everything you keep track on your own, you share what you've done on your own there, okay? So that is that here. Cool. So again, that's pretty much I think I hit all the parts. There's a lot of questions I kind of pulled apart as well too. And again, at the end, just to answer questions like I think what you want to do, it's not the what, it's not the what you do, it's why are you doing it, right? How did it make the students who they are, and who have they become? Who have they become as a result, right? That's the key. That's the key that when you think about this one, that's what I would recommend. Again, focus less on the what, which one do you want to do, right? I always tell students when it comes to activities, right? The filter question for activities, if Coach Tony didn't let me share this on my college apps, right? Would I still want to do this? right? Imagine your child, right? Loves play soccer. Sorry again, right? Loves play soccer. And Coach Tony's like, hey, you can keep playing soccer, but you can't share on your college apps. Would your child say, ah, man, not doing soccer anymore? Or would they say, I don't care. I like soccer. I'm going to do soccer no matter who that Coach Tony guy is, right? That's kind of what you want. Because again, the what is not as important as much as the why. And as long as the student has that why to drive them forward, that's going to be the key. Okay, so that's going to be the next question over here. We have a few live questions from the channels. I'm going to pull a question out right now. So if you guys are again on Facebook, on the different channels, feel free to drop something in the chat as well. Here is a Zoom one. Here's a Zoom question. Oops, can I not copy the Zoom question in? Right, there you go. All right, so this one, right? My son was diagnosed with ADHD sophomore year, second semester. Once he started medication, he went from a C to an A. Where should he put the expectation of grade changes on the UC and the Common App? Great question as well, too. So something to keep in mind, right, is that anything that will make the reader go, right? Anything that will make the reader go, I want to know. Meaning like a drastic grade change up and down, a big gap somewhere, things that doesn't like, that's not like, that's a little odd, right? As well, too. Like, again, how you know is, you pretend you're not their parent. If you read them like, would that be a little, like if I read my neighbor and they wrote this, would I like, that's what happened there? Or that's interesting, right? And you 100 want to explain in the college apps, right? I always tell families that it's you rather over communicate than under communicate, right? As a reader for Berkeley, when I read it, every yes I gave was absolute yes. They were for sure yes. Anyone that was like, maybe, I'm not sure, they got a maybe or a no from me. It didn't get a yes. So keep that in mind as well too. And again, doesn't mean that the yeses were like phenomenal students, right? Some of them might have had bad things or things that are now not the greatest, but it was very solid. Everything made sense. I'm like, oh, got it. I understood the story of the student. Cool. So for this one, I would add it, right? So for the UC app, there's a section where this fits perfectly called the academic comments, right? Academic comments, 550 characters. Here, you want to go ahead and share this in that section. You can use phrases, right? Can use phrases for this. You don't have to use full sentences for this section. Right? Because only small characters, you can use like quick little blurbs. You can explain it. You can use full sentences too, but you have a lot less characters to talk about is why. But you can use phrases. I would do that to explain kind of the context of what happened. Again, quick. 2-3 sentences. You don't have to tell a big story. You don't have to go in emotional things. Just give the readers what they're looking for. Got it. That makes sense. Then you move on. That's all it is as well too. On the Common App, they use, right? On the Common App, right? They use the additional comments, right? You can also, by the way, use the additional comments for the additional comments for the UC app as well too. There's only 550 words as well too. You have more things to do. I forget how much the Common App is, but there's a big section you can add in as well too. Academic additional comments as well is at the bottom. You add it, you share context just enough so the reader knows what's going on. That's it, right? Share enough context for readers to understand, right? No need to emotional tell stories. No need to make excuses, right? Just give excuses. Let's provide context for them, and that's it, right? That's pretty much all you need over here. Okay, emotionally tell story. All right, so that's be that section over here. Okay, so that's that section over that's question. All right, next one. There's 2 questions here. I think they're a little different. I'm gonna split up a little bit. All right, first one. Where is it better to include activity that could be an honor? The activity list. I'm trying to understand the question. I think the question is asking is where do we add awards, right? Or honors as well too. So awards and honors. For the UC app, right, it fits within the 20 activity slots, right? There's 6 kind of drop downs, right? You can use, they're either going to be awards or honors. It could be an educational prep program. It could either be an extracurricular activity. It could be a volunteering, community service, could be other coursework, or it could be work experience as well. So these are the six, so 2, 4, 6, six areas. So when you enter any of your activities for the UCs, it will be one of these 6 that you'll drop everything down. So you can add the award and honor to it as well. That's where that will fit in. For the Common App, right? For the Common App, there's a section of 5 awards that you can share as well too. So that's where, in case you have any questions there, you can add it in that section. That's where the awards can kind of stay in as well too. So hopefully I answered that question for you guys. Next one, is there anything I should know on how to go into an AP Human Geo the best score you can? Hopefully you asked this question a lot earlier because the AP exams were back in May as well too, right? So basically you can use College Board resources. They usually have crash courses, crash things to help you kind of prep for them as well too, right? And practice tests to prepare for these, and ask your AP teacher is the last piece to think about as well. So again, using resources, again, understand these are kind of standardized, so they're not going to surprise you on these exams. They'll probably prep you on what they tell you. Hey, we're going to test you on this percentage of this question as well, okay? So that's that. Next question, do another live question in the chat as well too. Let's see, any of the chat room. We see one here. All right, so a question here is, which UC PIQ 4 or 5 is best for a disability? So so when it comes to the prompts, right? When it comes to both UC and Common App prompts, right? No question is better or worse, right? Is a thing as well too. So it depends on you, right? So going back real fast, number 4 or 5, oops, this is last week's. 4 or 5 is educational opportunity, or over educational barriers. So I'm assuming if you do that, you're talking about the barrier, right, is for this one. And for the second question is mostly been challenge you face, right? So it could be either or, right? So for me, either or works. Keep in mind how you go about the process. I'd be curious what your other prompts are going to be, right? So again, you have 4 PIQs, right? So let's say disability is one of your top 4, right? So I'd ask you like, what are your top 4, 5 topics, right? And you tell me, okay, topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, topic 4, and say topic 5, for example, right? So these are my top 5 topics. Let's say, for example, number 1 is disability, right? Is that. And I would say, okay, cool, 4 or 5, right? So 4 or 5 is what I would mark first. Number 2, right? Hey, this one's talk about soccer as well too. I talk about 1, or I'm making some up by the way, don't quote me. 1 or 2. Numbers 3, I'm gonna talk about ASB. I'm gonna talk about 3 or 4, right? And last one, I'm gonna talk about love math, right? Love math. I'm gonna talk about let's say 4 or 6 as well too, right? So these are the ones, and the last one we don't probably yet, but let's talk about I don't know, robotics, right? Robotics as well too. This one is either 6 or 7, right? So these are the ones, and then let's make it more fun. 5, 6, or 7. 5 or 6 or 7, right? So you do this. Now, what you want to do is you want to go through here and see, right, which ones can you use, right? So you see here, if I use 4 here, I can't use 4 over here or over here as well too. So you find which one makes the most sense, right? And you go through which one's the easiest. Oh, I definitely want to talk about number 6 for math. That's the subject one, I believe, right? Number 6 is the math one. Subject, there we go. So I'm for sure using number 6 for math. So let's do that, which means I could still use this, right? So let's see. ASB, I want to talk about number 4, right? Oh, in that case, I have to talk about number 5 here, right? And then I can use 1 or 2. Let's use number 1 here. I can't use 5 or 6, right? So I can use number 7, right? Again, this one is not a topic. You don't use that for the purpose of UCPIQs, but look at these top 4. That's what you would use. The reason why we have students prep though with 4 or 5 is that what ends up happening is that topics 1 to 4 is the UCPIQs, right? Topic 1 typically is your Common App personal statement, right? That's usually what happens. And topics 2 to 5 are generally topics, talking points for your college supplements as well too, because each college you're applying to, they have their own supplements. That's what that is going to be. Okay, so it's that. So that's that there. Next one. All right, next one. My daughter. How much time do you have left? I have time for like 3 more questions. If you have some questions now, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Right now, again, we're going live. We have still a lot of people here. Thank you, everyone, for joining as well too. We got people here live on the Zooms. We got people here in the Facebooks. The people here on the Twitches as well too. On TikTok. And YouTube. We got a bunch of people on YouTube as well too. Welcome everyone. So okay, diving in a few more. We'll do like 3 more questions. I might have to bounce like 5:45. So we have a few minutes left. I'll kind of speed run a few of these. Next one, my daughter's 11th grade taking AP Calc BC in May. She will not get the score to July. Aloni requires AP scores for multivariate linear algebra differentials. Starts in June. This will be the case of MOCC. Select the workaround, a list of community college who will allow take math courses. So basically, this is one of the general recommendations that we give for a lot of our computer science and engineering students, right? So if you're computer science or engineering students, one of the big things, one of the big overlays, right, that you want to make sure overlays are things you should have on your app is very strong math is the thing. So we tell students, if you can go past BC, you do want to do that, right? So take on multivariable calculus, the linear algebra, differential, the next level of math. Typically, high schools don't offer this. So these are offered multivariable, right? Linear algebra and differential equations is offered at the, can't spell today, equations offered at the local community college level courses, right? Multivariable calculus is the other half of that, right? Calculus as well too is offered at the local community college. You can go onto the college and take it. So what this student's doing is that they took Calc BC, and some schools will require you, right, to get the credit for the class before the class begins. Very common, right? Nothing new as well too, right? We gotta make sure you're good before you can take the next class as well too. So the workaround, right? One of the things a lot of people don't think about is the person with the power to add you manually is the professor, right? So what I would do if I was this student in the future, because it's probably over, right, for the student, but in the future, I would reach out to the professor who's teaching this class and explain the situation, right? Let them know, hey, I'm actually a high school student. I just finished this class. I got an A in my class. I took the AP exam. I did well. Can you manually add me to that class? I'm with you as well too. The professor has the ability to manually enter students into these courses, right? Is a thing. So if you're proactive enough, and again, if you are good, hey, can I do a test with you to show you that I do know? Again, offer a pro tip here, right? Pro tip, right? Offer to take a placement exam with them. Test with the professor themselves, right? That way, right, you can show them, look, I do know myself. Not that I'm making it up. I take a test with you, 5-10 minutes. I'll show you what I can do, and boom, right, as well too. But a professor can add you in. In terms of looking for schools, right, there's a really cool resource thing called cvc.edu. Is that the right name? I don't want to butcher it live, so I'm going to do a different tab real fast. Yes, CVC EDU. This is a directory of a bunch of online community college courses. Really cool resource for you guys, because if it's online, you don't have to go there, right? Is the thing. So I definitely would have you guys look into this if that's something you guys are interested in doing as well. Okay. Next one, I'm struggling a lot with time management and grades are dropping. What can I do to better organize, commit to getting things done on time as well too, right? I think the answer is at the end of the day, right? The high level answer is do what works for you as well too, because everything works. I can show you my things, what works for me, but then it may or may not work for you as well too, right? My tip, by the way, if you're asking me, I would say you want to calendar everything, right? With priorities, right? So my priorities as well too, right? For example, right? Everyone guess what's the first thing in the chat if you join me live? What's the first thing, the non-negotiable you put into your calendar if you want to calendar out your life, time management? What's the first thing you do in the chat, right? Wherever you're joining me live right now, I see all the comments. Like, what's the first thing you want to add? I see homework, no. I see school, no. More school, no. Number one, most urgent priority, sleep. You guys gotta sleep. You don't sleep, you're not gonna make it, right? So number one, plug in sleep time. This is why people like, hey, I'm staying for 2 in the morning. You don't have to. It's a choice. You chose to stay till 2 in the morning. You block out time when I'm going to sleep. I'm going to wake up during this time. Then, right, the school, the academic non-negotiables, non-negotiables, right? Which is the classes you take, the homework you do, the commute time to and from school, non-negotiables there, right, is the key. Then, right, it's the other activities that you prioritize. I'm gonna use that as a big word, prioritize as well too, because again, could you do anything? You can. When parents tell me their kids are busy, I'm like, no, you just don't care about the thing enough, right? If I told you think about this way. If I told you guys, right, if I tell you a city where I'm gonna be at in the specific location, and I tell you in the next 72 hours, if you meet me there, I'm gonna give you $1 million cash, tax-free as well too. If you meet me in a city in California, I'll tell you that the question is, are you going to figure out a way to make it there? Right? And the answer is, I'm assuming, unless a man doesn't mean anything to you, yes. You can take a day off work. You can move some things around to make sure you can get that cash, and because that's what you prioritize as well too. So when students tell me I'm busy, I'm like, cool. Are you busy? Question here. Are you busy doing the right things or doing the wrong thing? Because both busies are busy, right? But the one here, the right things, gets you towards your goals. This one over here puts you in a spiral. Like, for example, parents, do you ever see your kids doing homework till 2 in the morning, right? As well, and you're like, oh, my kids were studying so much as well too, right? But I wonder, are they doing homework and talking to their friends, doing homework listening to music, doing homework using TikTok as well too, doing homework watching a movie as well too? That's not doing homework. That is listening to music and trying to get your homework done. If they just focus on doing homework, this doesn't take that long. Is the thing, right? And with the rest of your things that you do, you prioritize the rest and you'll be fine as well too. So I think that's kind of what works for me, calendaring and prioritizing everything, and it changes, right? There's daily things you do, there's weekly, there's monthly things. When you have an exam, right, you know, hey, I got to spend more time on school and studying because I got to study for that exam. So you change your goals again, right? That's kind of works for me. Again, at the end, you would know you best, so figure out what works best for you here, okay? Cool. Last question really fast on here before I go. If you guys have more questions, feel free to drop them. Our team will probably save them and add them to like next week's Q&A as well too. Last one here. I'm wanting you to explain the point of taking a psychology over summer at Saddleback instead of different class. So I'm assuming this is talk about dual enrollment, right? So if you guys know me, I'm a huge fan of dual enrollment. Dual enrollment is basically taking a college level course, right? Excuse me, as a high school student. Right? The benefits. What's the benefit of doing this, right? Number one, college classes are 1 semester long. However, right, one college unit is equivalent to 3.3 high school credits. If you guys look at your transcripts, you'll see that your year-long classes are 10 credits long. 5 credits fall, 5 credits spring, 10 credits long, which means if I take a 3 college unit class, that's 9.9 or 10 high school credits. It gives you the same credit as a full year-long high school in half the time. Perk number one. Perk number two, right? If you take an AP exam, right, an AP class, right, you need to take an AP exam for college credit, right? Get 3, 4, 5. Not every 3 counts. You might need a 4, might need a 5. Really quick, right? Let's say UCLA, right? Look up the word AP validation, right? Whatever school is, right? AP you'll see when you look it up, right? Not every 3 counts. So look at here, look at this chemistry, right? If I want to take chemistry, if I get a 3, I get credit for intro to chem. However, if I get a 4 or 5, I get credit for general chem. Meaning, let's say I need general chem and I get a 3, I didn't get the credit. I have to go to UCLA and take the class again to get the call. That's what that means. You'll see here, it's different. If I go to a different school, UC Berkeley, AP validation, right? You go to this school and you'll see it's also a little differently. Some see here 3 or higher, 3 or higher, as well. I'm trying to find one that's not. Here, right? Reading, right? AP, if you got a score of 4, you get part A. You get a 5, you get part B. Which means if you don't get a 5, you have to take part B again at Berkeley. That's kind of what it means for this, right? So that's perk number 2, right? Oh, the perk is community college classes automatically gets you the college credit, right? As long as it's transferable is the key, right? That's another perk, right? Number 3, right? Most of these classes are online. A lot of you guys tell me you're busy, so I'm like, cool, let's make it flexible for you. Online classes keeps it flexible for you. And my best tip of all, you get to pick the professors for your college courses, right? When you look up, so this person goes to Saddleback, right? So Saddleback summer schedule, right? Summer schedule as well too. You'll see that when they took classes, I'm trying to pull up a random class. Let's do a fully online class, right? Oops. Summer fully online. So you see, let's pick math. It's not here, right? Math. You'll see that certain classes are offered online and certain classes are offered in person. But what I'm looking for, if it loads, beauty of live, right? You'll see that each class has like a few teachers. There we go. This class right here, right? Intro to Stats has Carrillo, Schaaf, right? Schaaf, Valdez, Ciozek, George, Sedzade, right, as well too. There's multiple people teaching this class, right? It's more as well too. There's different class. So there's all these teachers teaching a class, right? And so with these teachers, some of them are really easy, some of them are really hard. How do you find out? RateMyProfessors.com. What you want to do is you want to go type in the school name. The school I looked up is Saddleback, right? You type in your own school, right? There. And then once you look up the school's name, ads, close the ads, right? You type the teacher's name. So let's look at the first teacher, Carrillo, B. Carrillo, right? I look up their name, and then I see Brian Carrillo. Let's look at the stars. Ooh, he has a lot of 5 stars. That's a really good sign so far, right? Difficulty, 2.7. Could be better. Could be better as well too, right? Read the reviews, can kind of see how it is. Next teacher, let's kind of vet. Let's do Schaaf, right? Schaaf's the next teacher as well too. So Schaaf, there's a few Schaafs. Kia Schaaf as well too. This one, ooh, a lot more mixed 4s and 5s. Difficulty even harder. It's out of 5, by the way, so even harder. And you see the class. Can read the comments as well too and see that. Let's do one more teacher just to showdown. Let's do teacher with the cool long name, right? The cool long name. Ooh, page froze. Refresh the page as well too. If not, you guys can't see the last teacher. You have to do it on your own. It might be homework for you guys to look it up. Oh, it's not working. It's not working. All right. So basically, the idea is you can look them up, and your goal is to find the easiest teachers. So this student saying psychology. Why we recommend psychology is it fits under the egelloC approved course list. Right? Course list. This, by the way, this applies to people in California only. So if you're not in California, that you do have your own list from your state as well. But this is a California specific question, right? So the egelloC, soon to be called CalGETC, they're rebranding the name just to make it more universal to all the schools, right? This is a list of classes that's transferable to all the schools. So when you look up like egelloC Saddleback, right? You see that there's a table of classes. Area 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, right? What you want to look at, I tell students, look at Area 3 and Area 4. So Area 3 is over here, Arts and Humanities courses, and Area 4, Social Behavioral Sciences. These are typically the easier classes that you'll see on your schedule. So what I like to recommend is areas 3 and 4. Right? Typically under area 3, the classes that our students like the most is art, music, and theater. And for area 4, our students really like anthropology, psychology, can't spell psychology, psychology, and sociology. These are the 6 classes that typically, again, but it's a lot, right? Look at the list. There's a lot of classes you can take. They're all great, right? Whatever works best for you. But these are typically, the website froze. But, right, these are the typical classes that we like to recommend because it's easy. And that's it. Because as a reader, I acknowledge that you took a college level course, right? Got a grade for the college level course, but I don't see professors' names. So if I were you, I try to find the easiest professor you can find. And that's a little trick to kind of game this as well. Okay? That being said, that pretty much wraps up, right? Wraps up our little training for you today. Hope you guys enjoyed that little Q&A. Went a little overtime as well. If you guys liked it, let me know down below. If you guys want me to do an encore, we can do again another week. Next Monday, if you guys are free, we'll do one more week of this as far as we can. If you like it, we'll keep doing it as well too. But that's pretty much it for me. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Little teasers. This week we have some amazing trainings inside our group. These trainings will be private though, so if you guys are interested, let our team know. Let me try to share what trainings we have this week so you guys can get excited and pumped for that as well. Oh, my link is not working. Just kidding. It's loading up. It's loading up. Oh, just kidding. This is not working as well too. Oh, I have the wrong link up. We have a few awesome trainings later this week, so if you guys are interested, again, we'll post it inside our groups. You guys can go ahead and check for that and see whichever. I lied. I pulled it up, y'all. We are good. All right. So this week, tomorrow, Coach Art is doing a really cool private training on how to write the supplemental essay. So if you guys are applying to private schools, USC, Stanford, Claremont colleges, the Ivy League schools, all these schools that have extra questions, he's going to teach you guys how to answer the supplement questions tomorrow. On Wednesday, Coach David, our financial aid expert, he's going to teach you how to negotiate offers for college offers, right? So help you guys negotiate for financial aid. And this Thursday, the incredible Coach Victor, he's doing a special training on digital portfolios. So like how to showcase your online presence to be impressive to the various colleges. So if you guys want to join any of those private trainings, let us know down below. Text our team, 949-775-0865. They'll grab you guys the registration links for those, okay? But if not, that's it for me today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys on